Driverless cars, hey, we've heard a lot about them, but they are basically here. What about a driverless car? Would you be able to use it in your state? Well, that takes us to this week's Law Talk. A lot of vehicles are being manufactured that have driverless functions, or as the manufacturers refer to them, semi-autonomous functions. They can drive themselves. Audi's coming out with such a model. And Tesla is in the forefront of this. Tesla has a Model S that can do many of the things that you previously needed to do in driving an automobile. But the question is, can you use that vehicle lawfully in your state? Well, this is where we see a disconnect between technology and the law. Very few states, just a handful of states, have any laws dealing with driverless cars. Basically, it's Nevada, California, Michigan, Florida. Nevada was the first state to enact laws dealing with driverless cars because they wanted to be able to allow driverless cars to be used on the state highways in Nevada for experimental purposes. California followed suit. The kind of licensing that's necessary is different for a driverless car than it is for a normal driver vehicle. So the question is, you get one of these brand new Tesla Model S's. Can you use it in your state? Can you be out there doing it? Well, interestingly enough, with the exception of New York, the majority of states don't have any laws requiring you to put your hands or a hand on the driver's wheel. So if you're out there doing this, riding in a driverless car in the driver's seat, is it going to be lawful for you to take your hands off the wheel and just let that car cruise along, doing what it's designed to do? Well, the manufacturers argue, yes you can, yes you can. If there is no law that prevents you from doing it, well then, it's a legal act. Okay. But you know, these vehicles increasingly will be doing an awful lot of things that in the past required some attention and some observation. The Model S will allow the operator to hit the turn signal, and when they activate the turn signal, that driver will then tell the car, you can pass the vehicle in front of you. So the car automatically comes out, passes the vehicle in front of it, gets back into the lane. And all of that's done while the driver has his or her hands off the driving wheel. Let's say a highway patrol guy comes along and sees you there and sees that happening and says, hey, you weren't paying attention, you were turning, you were talking to your passenger, you were doing something else, you were involved in inattentive driving, and you say, officer, look at this vehicle, it's designed to drive itself, and that's what it was doing. Are you engaged in inattentive driving? Are you breaking the law? Well, it depends on the specific law. And as we see cars being able to do more and more and more, we hopefully will see the law catch up with this. But for the time being, if you are buying a vehicle that is semi-autonomous in its operation, that it can drive itself, well, you can listen to the manufacturers, and if you're in a state without any laws, you can go ahead and use it, taking your hands off the wheel, because there's no law requiring you have your hands on the wheel. I'm David Allen. We bring you this case as we bring you cases every week so you understand how the law works.